For decades, commodities were largely discussed in commercial terms: price, volume, specification, and delivery. Today, that is no longer enough. Governments and major industries are increasingly treating access to energy, metals, minerals, fertilizers, and food-related commodities as a matter of national strategy. The question is no longer simply, can we purchase this product? The more important questions are, who controls the supply? How secure is the route? Can the counterparty perform? And will the channel remain available when geopolitical conditions change? Welcome to Euroyen Strategic Briefing. I'm Juan Cabrera. In this first edition, we examine why commodity trade is moving from opportunistic purchasing towards long-term supply security. Recent developments have made this shift increasingly visible. Trade restrictions, regional conflicts, infrastructure disruption, and concentrated production have demonstrated how quickly an apparently well-supplied market can become strategically vulnerable. The International Energy Agency reported that 11 of the 20 critical minerals essential to the energy sector were subject to export controls at some point during 2025. It also noted that dozens of new policies affecting critical minerals and clean energy technologies were introduced as governments sought to protect or diversify strategic supply chains. This matters because modern economies depend on a relatively small number of commodity channels. Copper and aluminum support power networks, construction, transport, and digital infrastructure. Critical minerals support batteries, electronics, defense systems, and emerging technologies. Fertilizers support agricultural output and food security. Energy commodities remain fundamental to industry, logistics, and national resilience. Precious metals continue to serve monetary, industrial, and strategic functions. When access to any of these becomes uncertain, the consequences extend far beyond the commodity market itself. When access to any of these becomes uncertain, the consequences extend far beyond the commodity market itself. Public finances can come under pressure, and governments may be forced to compete for limited supply under difficult conditions. This is why many institutional buyers are moving away from purely transactional procurement. The lowest price on a particular day may not represent the greatest long-term value. A credible supply relationship must also provide continuity, regulatory clarity, logistical resilience, and confidence in the counterparty's capacity to perform. The World Trade Organization's work on supply chain resilience reflects this broader concern. Its members have been examining how vulnerabilities can be identified, monitored, and addressed through cooperation and diversification. Its members have been examining how vulnerabilities can be identified, monitored, and addressed through cooperation and diversification, including disruption monitoring, emergency preparedness, stockpiling, and supply diversification. These are not conventional trading measures. They are instruments of economic security. For producing countries, the strategic calculation is also changing. Resource-rich nations increasingly want more than the export of unprocessed materials. Many are seeking domestic processing, infrastructure, technology transfer, employment, and greater participation in the value created from their natural resources. This means that successful commodity relationships must increasingly align commercial execution with national development priorities. A buyer may require secure, long-term access. A producing country may require investment, local value creation, and responsible development. The strongest structures are those capable of aligning both sides within a credible governance framework. This also changes the role of the counterparty. In institutional trade, access to a product is only one element. The ability to demonstrate authority, compliance, operational capacity, and financial readiness is equally important. Many commodity proposals fail because they begin with an apparent product but lack a controlled path to execution. There may be multiple intermediaries, unclear mandates, unverified allocations, or procedures that do not correspond with the regulatory environment. In a strategic market, credibility cannot be assumed. It must be demonstrated. The future of commodity trade will therefore be shaped not only by what is available, but by how access is structured. Governments, state-linked entities, and major industrial buyers will continue seeking diversified and dependable channels. Producers will increasingly evaluate the strategic value of their relationships, not simply the immediate sale price. And credible principal counterparties will become more important because they can provide accountability, continuity, and execution within defined jurisdictions. The central message is clear. Commodities are no longer only commercial inputs. They are increasingly connected to economic sovereignty, industrial policy, and national resilience. Organizations that understand this transition will approach the market differently. They will prioritize verified counterparties over long intermediary chains. They will evaluate continuity alongside price. They will build relationships before disruption occurs. And they will recognize that the most valuable commodity channel is the one capable of performing when conditions become difficult. Euroyen Group operates at the intersection of diplomacy, sovereign markets, and global industry. Through Euroyen's strategic briefing, we will examine the developments reshaping international trade, strategic commodities, precious metals, and institutional markets. These subjects are relevant to your work. Subscribe to the channel and join us for the next briefing.